Online students, is my voice is loud and clear? Okay, it is clear, right? Now let's start the session. So in the last class, we are discussing about the Excel, and only the final part was left was in the Excel is how to draw the plots, the data visualization part. As we have completed the data analytics, which is by using the pivot tables and functions, different functions. So let's move on to the last part, which is how to create plots. So now for this data set, this is the data set which we have worked in the last class. Already I have given you the overview of the data set, that is transaction, revenue and expenses, profit category, region, and all the column names I have explained in the last class. And I have also given the overview of the project, and also we have done the sum analysis also by using the some kind of pivot tables. Now how to create the pivot tables also we have discussed, and each pivot table, and that is value counts or group by functions, how to do everything. Now, just in today's class, we are going to move on to the next concept called as how to do the plots. Once we understand how to do the plots, we can do the end-to-end project also in the Excel. Now, to do the plots here, we are going to select the what are the pivot table we have done, and in that pivot table here we are going to click on the recommended charts. So once you click on the recommend chart, it will show for the given data what are the table you are trying, for the which are the pivot table you are trying, for that particular pivot table which is the best one. Okay, like for example whether to show the expenses, profit and everything. So it is showing for us. Okay, once we click on the pivot table, any table, keep the cell wherever you are interested and click on the recommend charts, and automatically it will recommend for you, like what are the things are there, it is going to recommend for you. Now in this pivot table, just I'm going to take the column. This one is instead of maximum, I'm going to select the summation of the revenue. Sum of the revenue is nothing but total sales. This is the total sales, this is the total expenses, this is the total profit. Okay, so just if you want, you can rename. What is the rename I'm going to give is, this is the total sales, and this one I'm going to give as the total expenses. Overall expenses, what are the expenses are there, expenses, and this is considered as sum of the profit or simply total profit. We are going to give as the total profit, right? Now in the pivot table, just you are going to select like this and click on the insert and click on the recommend chart. It will automatically recommend for you which is the best chart for this one. Okay, so if you take this one, okay, instead of this one, for example in this pivot table, if you take and if you click on this, it will recommend for you which type of chart is best. So this is count plot. Whatever the bar chart you are having, this is nothing but count plot, and whatever the plot is recommending for this table is, it is recommending for you clustered column chart. Okay, so just how it will be represented, just you can see here overview if it is looking good or not, or you want in the stacked column or cluster column or the line, whichever you are interested, you can choose. It will recommend for you. First it will recommend. If you are not interested with that, you can choose any other also, not a problem. So for example, I want to go with the clustered column chart, and I'm going to click on the clustered column chart like this. Okay, now after creating the cluster column chart, here I am going to do the formatting. Same in the Power BI also. First we have to select the plot, and in that we have to fill the values. After filling the values in the chart, then we have to go with the next one called as formatting. So here also in the Excel, data visualization means only 2 points you have to remember. First point of data visualization. Okay, so in the Power BI or in the Excel, this is, or in the Tableau also, these three are common. So when you are working with the data visualization in any of the tool, when you are working with the data visualization on a tools, that is you are creating the plots, Data visualization, that is nothing but when you're trying to create the plots, okay, by using any tool like example Excel, Power BI, or Tableau. For these three of them, it is going to be the same. What is this? For three of them, what is the same is here Excel or Power BI or Tableau. Here, what are the plots you are going to use now? First, you have to select the data, and create the plot. What are the plot is there? Using the first, for example, in the Power BI also, first you click on the plot, then you'll give the data there. Both are same only, right? So first step is what? Selecting the data and creating the plot. Second step is formatting that one. Second step is format. So two things we are going to do. Whenever it comes to the visualization, two things we are going to do. So if you take the same thing in the Power BI, okay, same data set, if I take in the Power BI and I want to apply the clustered column chart, okay. So when I apply the clustered column chart, so for that, first I have to load the data. For loading the data, I'm using the Excel. And in the Excel, I'm choosing this file. What are the file is there? Sheet 1 file. Just in the sheet 1, I'm just removing these things because unnecessary it creates a wrong data in my case. So just I'm going to click on the save. And coming to this, in the Power BI, just I'm trying to load the data. What are the data is there? Just I'm clicking on the load data. And once I click on the load data, and it is getting loaded. And after loading here, that is sheet 1, where I'm having the original data, just I'm going to click on the load. Now, once I click on the load and load the data, okay, data was loaded. Here I'm going to select the clustered column chart. After selecting the clustered column chart, here I'm going to give on the x-axis. What is the x-axis I have selected in the Excel? Here, what are the x-axis is the category. Different categories I have taken on the x-axis. So I'm going to take in the x-axis category. On the y-axis, I'm going to take the revenue. And along with the revenue, I'm also adding the profit and expenses. Three things I'm going to add. And I'm going to get a clustered column chart in this way, which is a combination of for every every category, you are going to have like this, which is revenue, expenses, and profit. Now, so here I'm having in terms of this one, similar kind of same. So first, in this case, what we have done is first we created the pivot table. From the pivot table, we have created the plot. In the Power BI, what we have done is first we have selected the plot, which are the plot we are interested, selected that plot. And after that, we have given the data. So data plus plot. Now, once you get like this, now you are going to do the formatting, removing the grid lines, side, what are the things, bottom numbers, X label, legends, and title of the plot. Like this, you are going to do the modification. For example, if once this plot is okay for you, for your representation, this plot is okay, means what you are going to do? Formatting. You are going to click on the format, and in the format, you are going to format the, in the y-axis, what are the y-axis is there? Here, you are going to remove the values. If you don't want the values or title or something, you are going to remove them. And in the grid lines, what are the grid lines are there? Horizontal grid lines or vertical grid lines. If you don't require, you are going to remove them, and you are adding the data labels, and you are going to get the values on the top, right? In the same manner, in the Excel also, we are going to do the formatting only. First, we are going to create the plot. After creating the plot, we have to do the formatting. For doing the formatting in the Excel, we are going to click on the plus symbol here. This is the one which is used for formatting. So in the Power BI, which is used for doing the formatting, means In the Power BI, we are going to click on this one to format our visual. But in the Excel, we are going to use this one to format our visual. And here, if you see, I'm stopping the grid lines. I don't want the grid lines. What are the grid lines are there? That one. And similarly, what are the y-axis? Okay. Here, the values on the vertical values, what are the vertical values are there? I don't want to see the vertical values. And I'm adding the data labels. So you can add the data labels like this. So the values you can see for each of them, the data labels, or you can do the data formatting in this way. So you want with the legend keys or no legend keys, and you can select which are, if you are selecting this one, you are going to get without this one. And if you click on the more, okay, you can do the formatting like this. Here you are going to fill. Okay, so you can add in terms of solid fill, okay, for the values, or for the table also. You can add the borders, you can do the modifications. So these are all called as formatting the data. So whatever you are doing here, once you click on this and whatever you are doing here, modifications, everything comes under formatting. So you are going to format the data and you are going to present the data like this. Now, sir, here whatever is there now, these things are not required for me. I mean total profit or this one, that one. These are all not required means just you can modify. Here go with the legend. What are the legend or what are the axis you are having? In the axis, this one. If you click on this, automatically it will be removed. And you are going to do the modifications just by adding the titles, chart titles, title, axis title you can give, chart title also you can do. Chart title is this one. So here I'm going to write the title. What is the title I want? Means it is going to show what? Sales. Okay, total sales versus expenses versus and profit. Sales versus expenses versus profit. So you're going to choose like this. And if you don't want to fill or anything, simply click on the no fill. Okay. And if you want something background fill something, it is going to fill the background. What are the background is there? The background will be filled. If you click on the values, and if you select the fill, it will be filled on the values. For values, I don't require. If you select the chart and if you are clicking the fill means overall for the chart it will be applied. If you are selecting the values and if you click on the fill, it will apply only on the values. So like this, we are going to create whatever we are having. Like this, we are going to create within the Excel. So in the Excel or in the Power BI, what is the common thing is first you have to create the plots. Now let's go with this one. One more example. Let's try with one more example. Let's keep this one side. Okay, let's go with this one. Now for this one, again, I'm going to click on the insert. Okay, in the insert, I'm going to click on the recommend chart. And now it is going to recommend for me column chart, or I'm going to select the pie chart. My requirement is pie. I'm going to select the pie and click on the OK. And you're going to get the pie chart like this. Now, as we know how we are going to work within the Power BI multiple things, and we are going to keep all of them like this, right? Side by side, side by side. Same thing we are going to do in the Excel also, create the dashboard. Okay, dashboard we are going to do in the tomorrow's class. Tomorrow's class is exclusively end-to-end project in the Excel, and we are going to create the dashboard also in the Excel. Now, before moving on to that, here, whatever we are having, just we are seeing the individual wise. Individually, what are the plots are applicable and how to do the formatting. Now, if you see here, values are not there. In the pie, you are having only the circles and it is showing that this is IT, HR, something like this. Now, if you want to do the some formatting, you are going to click on this or you are going to click on this for different styles. If you are having the different styles, so you can select the different styles like this and you can keep the values also. You can change the values or you can change the data labels. What are the data labels are there? And chart title. So chart title you can give in terms of percentage of each department, number of transactions in each department, number of transactions in each department. Number of transactions in each department. Just you can give a title in this way. Just you can add the size, you can increase the size of the title, or you can place the title wherever you are interested. And just you can extend the size just by clicking on this, or here you can decrease the size also just by using here the size. What are the size you are interested? You can choose the size. Okay, number of transactions in each department. And here I'm going to give the chart title, okay, labels and legend. Now what are the legend is there? I don't want the legend. Simply I'm going to click on this, then automatically legend will not be there. But here I want the, it belongs to which category. So in the data labels only, I'm going to add in terms of what are the values are there. We are going to add the values and along with the categories also. So for adding the categories or something, just you have to select here. You want in the center or outside, you can have the outside best fit. Best fit means it will only select. And data callout. Once you select the data callout, you are going to get something like this. So departments, and you are going to get the, for each department, what is the sales. I mean, number of transactions in the each department. Is that clear? So title is also included in that, means just you can change the title color. I'm changing the title color to something like this. Number of transactions in each of them. And you are going to click on this and you are going to keep the chart title and data labels. And whatever you are interested, you can keep. Whichever you are not interested, you can modify. So if you want to modify to a different things or a different background or something, you can choose whichever you are interested. Accordingly, you can choose. These are all the different options which you are having. Okay. Which one is looking nice for you? Finally, you can choose that one. So this is looking nice for me according to you. It is looking nice. Okay, continue with this. And but I don't want the legend. Remove the legend. Is that fine? Now here I don't want this one also. Select this one and click on the remove field. Not require that. Whatever this one is there, remove this field. Or hide all the field buttons. This is field buttons. Related to field buttons, we can remove the field buttons and or we can hide also, and we can place. Now slightly we are moving on to this. Okay, so it is going to give the output in this way, or this one. Just I'm keeping this one side on the top. Like this, you can create the pie chart. Okay, so again, in which cases we have to set the pie chart, that already we have computed in the Power BI and also in the Python. So again, separately we are not going to do. Here points are very simple. Whatever the charts you have worked earlier in the line chart, let us take line chart, or if you take, for example, I want to go with the line chart only. So in this way, sir, in this also I don't want this one. How to remove this one? Right click on this, click on the remove all field buttons. So the buttons will be removed automatically. And you can have the data in this way. What are the data is there? That data. And you can adjust the data. You can modify the data as per your choice. And if you don't want the legend, just you have to remove the legend. Legend will be removed. And data labels, if you want in the whichever the position. So you can click on the more options and wherever you want. Data table is different. Data labels is different. Data labels means you are going to get on the top. And axis, I want the axis for the horizontal. Okay, that is x-axis I want, and the values I want. Data table means the data will be represented as a table as a bottom. Data labels means the numbers will get on the bars. Is the point is clear, everyone? Now just if this is clear for you, how to create the bar chart or how to create the count plot or how to create this one, if it is clear, now tell me guys, for this case, what type of plot I have to select in this example? Okay, what are the example I'm having? Just give me a minute. So again, I'm going to have one more pivot table. Okay. Now for this one, tell me guys, what I have to do? You tell me now. For this particular pivot table, okay, or for this particular table, not pivot table, table. In Power BI, it is table simply. Now, for example, I want to observe the relation which one is giving the more profits, which category is giving the more profits. I don't want to see the number of transactions. I want to see in terms of profit wise. Now, which category is giving the more profit? Now, I want to apply for this. Now, tell me for this, which one I have to apply? If you want to see the value wise, you have to go with the bar plot. If you want to see the percentage wise, okay, which category is giving the more profit of percentage means pie chart. So just you are going to select accordingly. And here I'm going to click on this, click on the insert, click on the recommend. First, I'm going to show you the bar chart and click on the OK. For the same thing, I'm going to click on the insert and in the recommend, I'm going to select the pie, both of them. That one and this one. Both of them I'm going to keep side by side. Finally, we'll decide which one is looking good for us. First, we'll do the formatting. How to do the formatting for this? First, tell me in the formatting, first requirement is I want to remove this one. How to do, how to remove this one? Click on right click and click on the hide field buttons. Okay, removed. Next, second one is in this chart, I don't want the horizontal grid lines. Then what I have to do? Click on the this one settings and deselect the grid lines. Grid lines will be removed. Next, I don't want to see the numbers also on the vertical. Horizontal I required, but vertical I don't require. Why I don't require? Because anyways I'm going to add the data labels. Data labels here, numbers will be there. So for me, this is not required. So to remove the vertical, I'm going to remove the vertical like this. Horizontal means this will be removed. Horizontal means x-axis, vertical means y-axis. Now I'm going to get output like this. Now do you think that legend is required? Not required. To remove the legend, what we are going to do? Remove the legend. And this is the one. Now what is the title I have to give here? Total profit for category wise. Category wise. Category wise. Total profit. Category wise. Total profit. And I'm going to give the output something like this. And this one, I'm going to add different color, or if I want to add the bold or underline, italic or something, whichever you are interested, you can add. As per your requirement, you can add. Now, if you want to modify in terms of color, the fill color, what are the color is there? That color, now you want to modify the colors. So I'm going to change the color and I'm going to give the different color. So you can add the background color with a different background colors. No sir, that background color I don't want anything. Simply it is white also fine. Miss, keep the white as the background color. And here background color is okay. Just I want to add here for the bars different color. Select the bars first and click on the fill. And here you choose the color. Now bars colors will change. If you select the table and if you fill miss, table color will change. If you select the bar and if you select the color miss, bar color will change. Okay. So same fill. If you observe clearly, okay, clearly observe one more time. I'm selecting the table. I'm selecting the table. And after selecting the table, I'm going to double click on that. Now I'm going to click on the fill. Now which one will be selected? Bars colors or table color? Table color will be selected. Now if I'm giving like this, entire table color is changing. Whatever I have selected and for whatever I have applied the fill, that will be selected. Overall I have selected and I apply the fill miss, for overall it will modify. Clear? So in the overall, see here, I'm selecting this one. Overall was modified. If I select this one and if I click on the fill, that part will be modified. Which part you are selecting and which one you are doing, that will be filled. Okay. Now I'm going to keep this one. So white color, and this one also, if you want, you can add that one. No need miss, no need, as per your choice. It is looking good for you means okay. If it is not looking good for you means which one is looking good for you, go accordingly, right? So if this is looking good, then internal bars, I want to change the different colors to black. I'm changing this one to black color bars. Now this is looking good or not miss, that is your choice. If it is finally looking good and it is used for your presentation, copy this one and create a new sheet and paste here. And keep the finally like this. This is going to be your Excel dashboard. So like this, you are going to keep the multiple plots side by side. Now, sir, this multiple plots side by side, okay. What about the background? These are all the cells are there now. If you want, you can merge all these cells into one. Now background is simply white and you can keep now Power BI, how you are having the white background. Similarly, you are having the same background here. Is the points are clear, everyone? And you want to give the title of this dashboard. So here I'm going to give the title. For giving the title, what I'm going to do is here, what are the cells are there? First, I will do the merge, unmerge, and these things. First, I'm going to merge from here to here as separately. And here I will give the title. What is the title miss? Excel dashboard. What are the dashboard I'm interested? I'm going to create the dashboard. Okay. And you are going to keep in the center Excel dashboard or sales dashboard. What are the project name is there? Sales dashboard. And if you want to give the background color, you are going to choose the background color fill. You are going to fill with something. And inside that, what are the values there? You are going to select the value and you are going to increase the size. So this is the sales dashboard and you are going to give the something like this. Okay. So here, don't focus on the colors. Colors is person to person, it varies. I'm here, what are the background color is there? Whether you are interested with this color means generally I am not interested with this color. I'll try with the different options. What are the options are there here? I'll check and which are the option I feel better. That one I'll select finally. I will never lock this is only fixed color. First, I will try keeping the plots. Later, I will modify the colors also. Accordingly, I will adjust. First, for example, as of now in the sales dashboard, what is the color I have given? Something. Now, this is going to be my final color miss. Maybe, may not be. After keeping other plots, I may not, it may not look for me good for me. I'll change accordingly. Colorings, you can do the last. But point is which one you have to highlight for your presentation, because in the presentation you have to speak. What you have to speak means here everything should be clear for you. When it is clear for you to speak, then you can say, see here the maximum profit the company is receiving from the, so I'm increasing the size of this slightly. I'm going to move top and this one also I'm moving like this. I'm adjusting the box. Okay. And this one also I'm trying to move into the somewhere. And this one I'll increase the size like this. Now I'll explain while doing the presentation, the company is making the profit from every category. The company is making the profit and the maximum profit are getting from the R&D department. I'll highlight my keeping my cursor or laser point, whatever it is. And I'll say that the company is making a good amount of profit from the R&D and it is making with comparatively less amount from the operations. And what is the reason of operations is making the low amount of profit? So here, if you observe clearly, decimals are also added. Why? What is the use of decimals? For me, decimals are not required, right? Why decimals are added means here the values are having the decimal. So for that, what I'm going to do means here I'm going to remove the decimals. For removing the decimals, I'm going to click on this. Automatically, here the values also will be removed. The decimals will be removed here also, right? And what are this one is there, then only I will copy this one into the my final dashboard here. I don't want the decimals. See, decimals are automatically removed here. Can you see that one? Everyone. So like that, you are going to add the which point you want to highlight. Like that, you are going to add the each and every point here and different plots. Or if you want to show as a table, you are going to bring the table only. Whichever in the dashboard, if you want to show as a plot means plot. If you want to show as this one means whichever you are interested, accordingly you are going to choose. Is the points are clear? Now, I want to say in terms of, so for a company, profit is more at the same time in the operations, the expenses are also very high. Like, for example, my pivot table, I'm taking one more pivot table, copy and paste here. In this pivot table, just 2 minutes, guys. So what are the pivot table I'm having? For this pivot table, here I'm having the within the Africa or within the Asia specific or something. Now, if I want to go with this and I want to present using the plot for not only for this, like here, like in the category, you can clearly say that the category of R&D is having the highest and operations are having the least. Now, just I want to add in the my pivot table. In the pivot table, just I want to add one more. What is that one more I want to add is revenue, or I want to show the expenses. Which department is having the highest expenses and why R&D, sorry, not R&D, H&R, right? HR is having in terms of lowest profit. So I want to highlight the HR department is having the lowest profit. The reason behind that is expenses are very high because sales are very good, but expenses of the HR department is very high. Now, if I present myself that in this area expenses are very high, this areas the expenses are less, means the company is going to observe that one. Okay, in these areas we are making the more amount of losses. The expenses means nothing but expenditure. So they are going to check that, okay, here we are making the more amount of expenditure, which is reducing the profit. For example, my company is there. As of now, I'm making every month let us take an example. I'm making 5 lakhs every month profit. In that every month profit, what are the 5 lakhs I'm making from my company? In that out of 5 lakhs, I'm spending almost 4 lakhs for salaries only, for salaries or for infrastructure or anything. And I'm making a profit of only 1 lakh. Now, I want to reduce my cost cutting. I want to go with the cost cutting. What is the meaning of cost cutting? Means I want to reduce my expenses. Now I'm going to see in within the expenses for which one I am spending more, whether for current bill or whether for infrastructure or whether for traveling. Means if I'm providing the cabs for people to come to my office, I'm providing the cabs or something. All this comes under expenses only. So now I want to check where the expenses are more. Once I have checked where the expenses are more, I have came to know that salaries are having the more expenses. So literally to say, I'm making a sales of every month. I'm getting this revenue. To be more simplified, I'm making the revenue of, okay, revenue of every month 5 lakhs. In that revenue, expenses, what are the expenses is there? That is 1 lakh rupees expenses. And after removing the expenses, sorry, expenses is 4 lakhs. After removing the 4 lakhs, now I'm making the profit of, the profit is only 1 lakh rupees. I'm making the profit. Assume. Let's take an example like this. That is nothing but profit is equal to, so I'm writing this one, revenue minus expenses. Now I want to increase my profit. To increase my profit, two options are there. One, I have to improve my revenue, means I have to add new projects. So some new projects I have to add. Like if I make the more projects, automatically my revenue will, profit will increase. This is one way. Okay. When I'm unable to add the new projects, what is the second option? What is the second option for that? Reduce the expenses. Now in the expenses, what would be the expenses for each of them? This is only called as cost cutting. Whenever the market is in the recession or in the market when new projects are not available, okay, no one is having the money to give to other. In that cases, we'll find this one, how to reduce the expenses. Every company will start thinking of this. When they are having the new projects with them, they'll focus on how to improve the revenues. When they are not having the new projects, then automatically they'll start thinking of the expenses, how to reduce the expenses. Once we have identified in the expenses, how much amount of 4 lakhs are going. So here in this example, if you see the expenses, in the Africa, we are having the more amount of expenses, that is okay. But within the Africa, which one is having the 1 minute? We couldn't open the action, okay, in the just sheet 2. So let me remove this one. I don't want all these things. So just I'm trying to open Africa. We couldn't open the action for the pivot table 5 in the sheet 2 because there is already a pivot table 6 and make space. Okay. So this one and this one is already same. So two things are already same. So that is the reason it is saying that you can open in the pivot table 6. Okay, done. Now here in the Africa, I'm having the expenses more from which one? Here. So in every case, if you observe clearly, decimals are there. Unnecessary, it is leading for my confusion. So I'm just removing the decimals, not required. Now, if I see now here, which one is having the more expenses means first Africa is having the more expenses. In the entire thing, Africa is making more expense. And within the expense also, which one is making a highest expense means R&D department. So within the Africa, R&D department is making for me more expenses. Now, automatically the company starts thinking what we can do in order to reduce the expenses for that. Right? So you have to present. Here, always remember when you're doing with the sales project or anything, from the business point of view, you have to see. Business point of view, you have to say, miss, for example, you are a business person. I want to, which one I have to highlight for you, miss? Profit. I have to highlight majorly on the profit first, department wise, country wise, state wise, or whatever it is. Majorly, I have to focus on the profit. And I have to explain for you in which areas you are getting the major profit and which areas you are having the less profit. Second, I have to tell the reason why you are getting the less profit. Less profit, the reason is expenses. So after the profit, what we have to highlight? Expenses. And along with the expenses and profit and revenue, three of them you have to show in the clustered plot. So then you are going to say that you are making a very good amount of revenue, but due to the high expenses, you are making comparatively less profit. The profit is comparatively less due to of the high expenses. Now what happens? They start thinking. Is the point is clear? Everyone understood? Now, so if I have to show you with a live example, in my stock market also, I'm having in terms of expenses. Okay, I have made some profit. Assume I have made 1 lakh rupees profit. And out of 1 lakh rupees profit, I'm paying for the expenses, taxes or something or anything. I'm paying around 25,000. Assume, let's take an example. I have paid 25,000. Now I have opened this one where I have paid more. 25,000. Okay, in that how much I have paid more means there I have found the taxes, like tax was paid to the government or tax was paid to the with respect to exchanges, everything. Now taxes I can't modify because taxes is not in my hand, it is in the government hand, so we can't modify in the taxes. What I can do modification means in my when I have observed this 25,000, in this 25,000, 2,000 I have spent for my brokerage, means for the people trading platform I have spent the 2,000 rupees. Remaining 23,000 rupees I have given to the government as a taxes. Now in this 2,000 which I have spent for the brokerage, I have checked in the Google, is there any particular company which is having the zero brokerage? so that I'm going to save that 2000. Then I have find one of the company that they are saying that just to pay 500 unlimited, you can do whatever you want, but we want with every month 500. Now after seeing this one, now I have chosen that particular company as my broker, and I have paid for them 500 rupees. Now monthly how much I'm going to save from this miss? 1500 rupees. Just from where I have started miss expenses, where I'm spending the more amount. Point is clear? Understood everyone? So company wants that. First they want to see the profit. Second they want to see the where the expenses are very high. And the same thing I have done. Where the expenses are very high and how to reduce the expenses. Right? And now I'm going to share you this data. The same data set I'm going to share it to you. Now for this data set, you guys are going to do from your side what are the analysis without doing the presentation or plots or anything. Just what are the analysis you are going to do? What are the observations you are going to do? You have to bring tomorrow in the class. By tomorrow, you have to complete this. And what are the inferences you have observed? What are the things you have observed for this particular one? Write everything. In that, which is the important point you want to highlight? Tell me tomorrow, and we'll create the dashboard accordingly. Dashboard is nothing but doing the presentation. So dashboard to create, first we require the data analysis commonly. So once I share you this one, you are going to create the data analysis by using the pivot tables or by using some additional functions, whatever you want. So within the whatever we have discussed, in that only everything is there. And using those, we are going to create the dashboard in the tomorrow's class. Now, before moving on to that, next, so here in the Excel, how to select the plots? How to select the plots means based on the data, we are going to select the plot. Same. Now again I have to explain for you the which are the types of plots means not required. What I have to explain only thing is called as formatting. How to do the formatting. So plot is already completed. Just I have to explain formatting. So for doing the formatting, just you are going to insert the data and you are going to click on the recommended charts and you are going to select which of the chart you are interested for the given data. And after selecting the chart, for example, line chart is there. Okay, line chart cannot be applied here. Sir, is the data is already cleaned here? In this case, it is already clean data. And already I have explained for you the how to do the data cleaning also, how to check the unique values and everything. So just you can apply the cleaning. Right? Now, next. So here, what are the pivot tables are there? This is the pivot table. So in this pivot table, or you can create a new pivot table or anything, choice is yours. Already you know how to create the pivot table and how to modify the existing pivot tables also, right? Just let me delete this sheet. Okay. So now in the pivot table, I'm going to click on the new sheet. And in this pivot table, I'm going to select in terms of category. And along with the category, I'm adding the revenue, expenses, and profit. Okay. Now, just I'm selecting the plot. Insert the recommend plot. And instead of clustered, I'm going to select the line plot. In the line plot also, I'm going to select like this. And you are going to do the formatting for this. How you are going to do the formatting means, first you have to remove these things. First step is that remove the field buttons. After that, now click on this and do the modifications for each of them one by one. So first axis. In the axis, we don't require the vertical values. We require only the horizontal. And next, title. If you want to add some title on the y-axis or you want to add the title on the x-axis, you can add the title. Next, this is chart title. Okay. So you are going to select the chart title. For every chart, compulsory title should be there. Chart title is mandatory. And you are going to show in terms of department wise, okay, or category wise. Category wise says expenses. For which one you are having the more, for which one you are having the less. Okay. And after that, you are going to do the formatting. So, sir, again, you are explaining the same thing, miss, because every time it is the same. For everything, we are going to do the same way. Okay. Just you are going to do in terms of this, and you are going to keep in the bold letters. Okay. So for every plot, it is the same. If you remember in the Power BI also, when we are discussing, first we have discussed the plot followed by format. In the format, everything we have repeated only. In the format, nothing will be different. Just the only difference is in the Power BI, we have to click on the format. Here we have to click on this one. Grid lines are not required. Legend is not required. Just you are going to add the data labels. Now values are like this. It is not looking good for me. So when the values are not looking good for you like that, just you are going to keep the okay. This one data labels are also not required. Just I'm adding the legend only. Better to add the legend. And the legend I'm going to keep on the top. Something with my laptop. Can you hear the sound? Till there you are getting the sound. Huh? It is overheated. Morning 7 o'clock I have opened the laptop and still now it is running. And there is no cooling pad here majorly. That is the problem. If I'm having the cooling pad, okay, done. Let me keep like this for temporarily. Okay. Now what are the table? Here I'm having the line plot. This is the line plot. And for this line plot, just here I'm going to show in the R&D department, the revenue is high and along with the expenses and this one. And if you observe clearly, the what are the expenses versus profit here for in this case, the difference is very high. Nice. Here also the difference and here also the difference and difference. Now here what I'm going to do is I want to see the percentage. How to calculate the percentage means see, I'm calculating in my revenue. This is my revenue value. What are the revenue value I have got minus I'm checking the this one. So what is the amount I'm spending for this? Means this much amount. What are the amount I have spent? That is profit. Okay, simply literally it is called as profit. What are the profit amount is there? My profit amount divided by revenue. Now what is the percentage I got? 39%. Means almost in everything I'm getting the similar kind of percentage. So just let me cross check for this A3. Oh, everything is A3 only. This value, what are the this value is there? Value, or simply let me copy this. Copy, and while pasting, let me paste with, okay. I'm going to paste only the values without taking the formula. Okay. Now, here I'm going to write in terms of profit by revenue. And similarly for others also, profit by revenue. Now, this is making 38%. What are the profit I got from the revenue is 38%, 39%, 36%, 38%. So in everything, almost the profit percentage is same. Almost close to 38 to 39% in everything, except for R&D. R&D, slightly we are increasing the expenses. Now from this, I don't want this one. Here also I want to make the profit of 0.39. Now what we have to do is slightly we have to reduce the expenses. This point I'm going to highlight. So here you are making the profit percentage. What are the profit percentage is almost close to 38-39% in all the cases except for the R&D. In the R&D you are making only the profit percentage of 36%. So in the why this reason means you are making the more amount of expenses. If you can reduce the expenses in the R&D, automatically the profit will be increased. So that one I'll highlight. Automatically they'll see the what is the possibility. What is the possibility in order to get the maximum percentage. Okay. So these numbers, what are these numbers are there? Na? These numbers I'm going to use the chart. Okay. And I'm going to present using the chart. These two, this one, and this one. Using these two, I'll click on the select, and here I'm going to select in terms of charts. I'm going to choose the line chart and click on the OK. And clearly I will say that the profit percentage for the R&D is comparatively low. And for formatting this one, I'm going to remove the grid lines, and I'm also going to remove the values, and just I'm adding the data labels. And these data labels, whatever I'm having, I'm going to keep in the comparatively less decimal. I'm just trying to reduce the decimal value to 1 decimal. So here the profit percentage. So I want to represent in profit percentage means just I'm going to multiply with 100. So what are the values are there? I'm going to show in terms of profit percentage like this. So this is the percentage. I'll keep the title as profit percentage from each category. From each category. So every category is giving almost a similar kind of percentage except this one. And just we are going to keep like this. And so what are the values are there? Just I'm showing. So now when I show like this, 100% they'll understand, okay, in the R&D, we are making the more amount of expenses than profit. We are making the more amount of expenses. Is there any possibility? First, they'll check. When there is no possibility, we can't reduce that. If I reduce here, automatically it will be impacted on the remaining things. Miss, they'll not do anything. No, there is a possibility is there, miss, they'll cross check that one and they'll start thinking of, and they are going to make some profit amount from the R&D expenses. It will helpful for them to improve their business by getting the more profit in the amount after my analysis. Before to analysis, they don't know, right, that they are making only this much of percentage, because for this data, how I can say which is having more percentage or which is making less percentage? Based on this data, no one can say. Unless you do this modification, and after that if you calculate these percentages, then only you can say. Without doing the data analysis, how you can say? Okay, so with my data analysis, automatically now the company is going to make more profit or not? Yes or no? Miss? Yes. So like that, what are the data is there? The data I'm selecting along with this one. Sir, I want to show all these things, miss, as already clustered. Clustered or with respect to second one is called as stacked. Either stacked or clustered you are going to select. When you are having only two columns, this one and this one, you are going to use. Is the points are clear? Now, sir, generally you told, right, in the line chart we should not use the in the what are the x-axis? It should be always in the sequential order, like time series or something, which is in the sequential order. If you're not interested this one, modify this one to pie chart. Represent using the pie chart. So pie chart is correct for presenting the percentage. Na? Go with the pie chart only. If that is not good, go with the pie chart and modify the data labels and data bailout, and you are going to show in each of them in which department you are going to make the more percentage of profits, right? So just you are going to modify like this. What are the values are there? That values. Now see here, sir, but marketing here it is 38.13, but it is calculating 20 voice, sir. What is the reason behind this one means, because this assuming the overall data as 100%, again in that 100% how much contribution is there, it is checking. Pie chart means how it will do for the given data, it will calculate overall 100%, right? Now do you think this plot is correct plot? This plot is correct now? Whether to represent this one is correct? Means than this I have to show it, this is not correct plot, I have to go with the this one. Okay, so this plot, whatever I'm selecting, this plot, that is I'm by selecting the two columns, this one and this one. Here I am not selecting the two columns. First I have to select the two columns, this one and this one. Then you have to click on the recommend, and then you have to click on the column and OK. 1 minute. 1 minute, guys. Yeah, one value was not selected. Exactly. Here 5 and here also 5, and click on the insert and click on the this one. Okay, and now you add the data labels, and after that you remove the vertical values and grid lines, right? So now here clearly you are highlighting this one. Only for this one you want something like this. Just you are going to click on this and you are going to select the style, not the style. Okay, just double click on this, then you'll get the colors. You can select the color, which are the color you want. You can fill the color, right? And this particular one, what are this particular you are having, and you are going to modify this one to like this. Only that one you are going to select and you are going to highlight. This is having comparatively low profit percentage when compared to others. You are going to highlight like this. And title you can keep profit percentage for each category. Already you know, right, how to keep the title and everything. Is that clear? Just you are going to do the formatting in this way in the Excel. Clear, guys? Everyone is clear? Now, which one is correct for you? Which plot is correct and which one is making sense for you correctly? Miss that one you are going to select. Generally, line plot will not be chosen here because we are not going to connect these two. There is no connection between these two. So we should not select generally line plot. We have to go with this one only. Or if you are having in terms of instead of percentage, if you are calculating profit percentage, okay, profit, then also it will take the in terms of which is making the overall high profit, and it will give the R&D as high profit. But I want to compare profit with revenue now. So profit with revenue means I'm creating a new column called as profit. What are the profit I have received divided by overall revenue. And profit by revenue, what it is called as, you know, margins, profit margins. This only called as profit margin, means in the entire revenue, how much is profit you have made. So this is the revenue. In this 40% profit you made, 60% you spent. So which category has given you the more profit percentage? Margins where you are having the more. And where they are having, for example, assume banks are having the margins, profit margins in the credit cards more when compared to gold loans. More profit is there in the credit cards when compared to gold loans. In the gold loans, if they give the gold loans, they are making the less profit. In the credit card, they are making the more profit. Now, if you are, the bank is having 1 crore rupees extra with them, first priority they will give for the gold loans or for the credit cards. So credit cards. Now the same thing was happening in India. Many banks are focusing on their profit margins which sector is giving the more profits, and they're giving the more amount of credit cards to every person, and they are trying to collect the percentage of more. And RBI has warned them to all the banks in India. They have warned, and they told that you should not cross more than this much of amount. What are your total revenue? In that, this much of amount should be from the credit card. Minimum this much should be from the gold loan. They have given some restrictions. If they don't give the restrictions, you can give your money as per your choice. Means none of the bank will give the gold loan also. Everyone will go with the credit cards only, because they are making the more profit margins in the credit cards. Points are clear? So which category is making the more profit margins and everything? So now I'm going to share you the data. You analyze something and you come with the inferences what you have observed by doing the data analysis, and tell me tomorrow, and we'll do accordingly the dashboard. Right? I'm going to add this data set for you. Okay, sales data, and I'm going to add in your Google Drive. Just give me a minute. Within the Excel. So here just I'm adding this one. Yeah. As per the order, tomorrow we are going to cover the Excel dashboard, followed by Power BI dashboard, followed by, as one of the student is asking, that SQL advanced concepts which are left or something. Of course, they are not related to data analytics also. Just because from the data analytics, just we are going to connect the database only. Major things we are going to do in the Power BI or in the whatever we have connected, there only we are going to do. But just we are going to add those things also furtherly. Okay, we'll discuss in the order one by one. Right? Sir, please upload the MCQ solutions of Power BI. Power BI solutions. Just a minute. Let me add the Power BI solutions also now itself. Just give me 2 minutes of time. Yeah, I have added Power BI test solutions also. Just cross check once in your Google Drive, and please confirm me. Available? Done. Available, guys? So you can cross check your solutions, and already what are the solutions you have shared to me on my to my mail, and please cross check once from your end also. Done, guys. Done. That is the end of the session and we'll continue in the tomorrow's class.